Hello students, we'll see today first lecture, Unit 1, the Intel Microcontroller 8051. Myself Dr. Faiz Ahmed Kurne, Head Department of Electronics Science, Abeda Inamdar Senior College. In today's lecture, we'll see what is the microcontroller, what is inside microcontroller, the difference between microcomputer and microcontroller, then Intel 8051 microcontroller and its features. So let's see what is microcontroller. So it is an advanced IC that is incorporated with additional peripherals. So it is a single IC that is typically used for a specific applications and designed to implement only one task. So you can say that it is a small computer. The example is our washing machine, or we can say microwave oven. They are designed for only one task. So in this we are using microcontroller. This microcontroller has a CPU along with RAM, ROM, IO ports, timers, ADC and DAC. All these are in one single IC, and therefore this microcontroller is also called as computer on a chip. If you see this diagram, the microcontroller IC having inside it a CPU along with RAM, ROM, that is called program memory, ADC and DAC with oscillator and timer plus IO ports. Everything is on a single IC and is called as a microcontroller. So we can say the inside microcontroller we have a CPU plus RAM plus ROM plus IO ports plus timers and serial port. Everything is on a single IC. So here you can see this IC has got these peripherals. If we compare if we compare microcomputer and a microcontroller, the microcomputer has a CPU connected with RAM, ROM, IO ports, timer and serial COM port. Everything is on a single PCB, that is called as motherboard, while this microcontroller is having a CPU along with RAM, along with ROM, IO ports, timers and a serial COM port, everything on a single IC. So we have microcontroller peripherals on a PCB, we have a microcontroller peripherals on IC. So we can say this microcomputer has a CPU, ROM, RAM, IO port assembled in a single unit called as motherboard. And if we speak about this microcontroller, it has also a CPU, a RAM, ROM, IO ports, timer, ADC and DAC, but everything on a one single IC. So you can see a difference here. So if you see here, this is this green, this is what PCB called as motherboard, having CPU, RAM slot along with IO ports, serial port, everything on single PCB. While controller has got this IC. Inside we have ADC, clock, we have RAM, of course we have CPU as the brain of this, ROM, IO ports and DAC. So all these are in a single IC called as microcontroller. Now see, the example is Intel 8051. This is the controller designed by Intel in 1981. So we can say 8051 controller is designed by Intel in 1981. It is 8-bit microcontroller. This 8051 has RAM, ROM, two timers, one serial port, four ports on single chip or a single IC. Now we say that the 8051 is an 8-bit processor. That means the CPU can work only on 8-bit data at a time. This is what meaning of 8-bit CPU. When we say features of the Intel 8051 microcontroller, it has got 8-bit CPU, 120 byte of RAM, 4 kilobyte of ROM, two timers T0 and T1, one serial port, four parallel ports P0, P1, P2 and P3, and six interrupt sources. These are the features of Intel 8051 microcontroller. Other family members of controller are 8052 and 8031. If we speak about 8052, it has all the standard features of 8051, but with extra RAM and extra ROM. So we can say in 8052 we have 256 of RAM and 8 kilobyte of RAM plus 3 timers. In 8051 we have 128 byte of RAM. Here we have double that. In 8051 we have 4 kilobyte of ROM. Here we have double. In 8051 there are only 2 timers. In 8052 we have 3 timers. So 8052 is advanced than 8051. One more family of 8051 is 8031 microcontroller. It is also called as a ROM-less IC because it does not have ROM on the chip. It has 0 kilobyte. So we have to add external ROM to it. So this external ROM must contain program that the 8031 will fetch and execute. If we compare 8051 with 8052, 8051 has got ROM 4 kilobyte. In 8052 it is double. 8051 has ROM only 128 byte. 8052 has double. Timers 2 in 8051. In 8052 we have 3 timers. Rest is same. If we compare with 8031, it has no ROM. Rest is same as 8051. These are the different ICs used as 8051. We can see this is a 8031 IC, 8051 IC by Intel company, processor by Texas, processor by other company. And the question might be asked in examination, that is write down features of 8051 microcontroller or comparison between 8051 microcontroller and 8052 microcontroller, or comparison between 8051, 8052 and 8031 microcontroller. So thank you very much. If any doubts, please feel free to contact me on the mail given below.